Okay, this is N2LEN with another quick video clip. Let's go ahead into, so the next, the winter project that we're going to be working on. Let's go into the radio room here. Okay. So, for a winter project, this is something that I've been wanting to do for the longest time. Let me go ahead and turn on the light. There we go. Okay, so this particular shelf I'm dedicating to a completely remote controlled station that's going to include an HF transceiver, a linear amplifier, antenna switching, remote control, rotor control, and everything for the antennas. The breakdown basically is a Flex 6700. The amplifier is an Elecraft KPA 1500. Rotor control box is a green Huron Engineering rotor control box. A Genius Antenna Genius XL 8-port antenna switch box. And the project that I'm going to be working on probably within the next week or so is installing the Flex GPSDO it's basically a GPSDO upgrade. It's a complete kit which consists of a GPS master oscillator unit that actually plugs into the insides of the Flex 6700. There are two cables that come out of the GPSDO unit that actually have two SMA connectors that attach to the back of the radio, and then there is a small little, let's say 2.5-inch magnetic GPS puck antenna with a 15-foot cord with an SMA connector on it that screws on to the back of the radio. But one of the things I'm going to have to do is extend that GPS antenna cable, probably with a length of RG175U and male and female SMA connectors on it. All my cabling actually gets fed in through the wall from the outside. It's hard to see, but right there is a 4-inch Cantex PVC pipe that feeds all the cables from the tower. There are other feed lines that come in through the house, and then they feed an MFJ 1701 6-position antenna connector. And I also have one of the lines which is jumping over to an Alpha Delta 2-position. So there's a total of 7 antenna feed lines that come in from the outside that are on independent antennas. I love the MFJ 1701. I have many of them in the house that control, one that controls all the antennas. I have one controlling a set of radios on the main shelf, and then I have one 1701 that controls all of the other 1701s. Like this is number 1, this is number 2, and it controls all the radios that are on the back wall. 1701 number 3, which is right here, and this controls the radios that are on the top shelf right here. There'll be another one, a 4th one. Right now it's being controlled by an Alpha Delta 4-position switch box, and you can see one of the lines is running into another 2, so I have 5 radios hooked up on this. You know, but I use quite a bit of them. So anyway, let me go outside because I want to see if I can get some ideas from some of my viewers or any suggestions on how to mount the GPS punk mount antenna. I did a lot of work on the tower this summer. I also did a lot of maintenance work. I installed some additional antennas on top of the roof for 10 and 11 meters, but let me show you the tower. So that GPS line is going to probably, I'm probably not going to feed it through the Cantex line that comes out of the ground over here. It goes, comes out of the house and it goes into the ground, and it's just a couple of feet where it exits out of the ground right in front of the concrete slab. And you can see I have spray foam, and there are multiple feeds. I have positive and negative wires that are 4 gauge that feed both of the electric winches, the tilt over and the telescopic winch. There are 2 winches. And then there are 8 feeds of LMR 400 that feed up the tower. And then I have literally some other, I have rotor cable that feeds the Mako M103, and then also 2 lengths of LMR 400 that feed both the Alpha V58s and the M103 that's on the roof. So let me show you the projects that we did on the roof. You can clearly see them. There are other dedicated videos on the install, but we put these up in August and September. So right on the center of the roof is the Alpha V58's ground plane, which is right there. And over here is the Mako M103 on a Radio Shack arch rotor. And let me show you what's on the actual tower. So what I'm trying to come up with is an idea on how to mount that GPS puck mount. It's a magnetic type antenna. I was thinking maybe to put somewhere up here, maybe a side arm, and put the puck mount right on there. I want to make sure that it has line of sight, so I may put it on the roof. But anyway, on the tower, the Yagi is a Cushcraft X7, and it has the optional add-on X740 kit, which is a 40-meter single element coming from the front. It's the 3rd and longest element with the X's. You could see it right there. It's a 40-foot, the longest boom part of the antenna. The X7 with the X740 will need 2 dedicated feed lines. There are 2 ballons. There is I believe a 2-to-1 ballon. I believe a 2-to-1 ballon for the X740 for the 40-meter kit, and a 4-to-1 ballon for the X7. Going further up the mast is a 9-foot crossbar. And going from left to right is a Comet 150S disc cone antenna. If you look closely, right next to the disc cone, about a 1.5 feet over to the right, is a small little fiberglass puck antenna. That is the 5G repeater, T-Mobile cellular repeater Yagi, for the repeater amplifier that's mounted on the wall in my ham shack. On the right, the far right of the crossbar, is the MFJ. It's 8.2 feet tall. It's called their quadruple threat quad band antenna. The model is the MFJ 1538. It was the only quad band vertical really on the market, and that is 6 meters, which I believe it's 2.15 dB at 6, I think it's 6 dB gain at 2 meters. I think, wait, 4 dB gain at 2 meters, 6 and change at 220, and 8.4 dB gain at 440. So it's 6, 2 meters, 220, and 440. Dead center, on the center of the mast that holds the big Yagi, is the Stereo 2016 10 and 11 meter omnidirectional antenna. Let me go ahead and come around and I'll show it to you from the back side. Maybe you'll get a better view. Here it is from the side. Okay, let me see if I can get a better view from the back, looking up. Here we go. And there is the, excuse me, the Alpha V58's Mako, and it's hard to see the M103. Okay, so, you know, I'm also thinking maybe to put the GPS antenna on the roof and maybe putting a small sidearm on the bottom tripod, one of the legs on the tripod, and mount it. It really all depends on where the best line of sight is for the antenna. But if you have any ideas on where to mount it, feel free to leave a comment. This is N2LEN. We're saying best